That's right, we are back, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to Season 2 of the Universal Open, presented by Brisk and 7-Eleven. We are continuing to pioneer the way for 2v2 Rocket League here, and we're in a slightly different location. We're actually in Twickenham, the home of English rugby at the moment, as the teams from North America and Europe battle it out for a slice of a $100,000 prize pool. Now, of course, the online qualifiers is what we're bringing you guys at home before we move over the pond to the regionals in North America, where all the teams will be fighting out for a place in the Grand Finals. Now, as you can see, I look a little bit different, but it's not just me on the desk. It's, of course, my wonderful... I'm going to call you my team. I think we're a team by now, aren't we? Week 3.
I would say yes.
Of course, we have Achieves and Shogun. Achieves, you nipped home for a week, and now you're back again.
Yeah, I went home for a little bit. It's always nice to go home, but it's good to be back in London. It's just as hot as it was when I left.
It is.
But there's air conditioning in this one, so it's wonderful.
It is. And how are you, mate? You all right?
I'm good. I'm feeling good to see you guys again. I get lonely off camera. I really do.
It's true.
So it's good to see you lot again.
It's a constant barrage of text messages, weird crying voicemails that come from Shogun during the time that he's not on camera.
He keeps declining my FaceTime. I'm very upset.
I'm sorry, man. But look, we want to hear from you guys at home, as always, and we want you to get in touch with us during the show. So use the hashtag UOS2. Also, head over to Twitter and follow at Universal Open so you can keep in touch with all the action, what's going on, when we're going to be broadcasting, etc., etc. Give me some love and support for, what was the big chop, gentlemen?
You look good.
The hair has finally got... Thank you, man.
You look good.
It's very kind.
You really do.
Thanks, so do you. You're all right.
I'm getting there. It's a working process.
It's very true. Well, let's have a look at the format for the Universal Open, of course. Get you guys up to date on exactly how everything works if you might be joining us for the first time here. You can see on the left-hand side, we've already had the East and the Northeast closed qualifiers, but now we're moving over to the Central qualifiers. Of course, all of these qualifiers, the top 4 will progress in North America to the regional finals, as you can see them in the middle there. Washington, New York, Chicago, and San Francisco, where they will move on to our grand finals, joining the top 4 from our online qualifiers in Europe. Of course, the final there will be in Stamford, Connecticut, August 24th to the 28th. It's getting pretty close now, gentlemen, so we've got to keep an eye out for that one. But let's have a quick brisk bracket update and show you exactly some of the action that we're going to be bringing your way today. You can see the matches in the top left-hand side of your screen. Starting off with Cloud9 versus Vape Noise. Then we have TM... Achieves, you've got this one.
Team Had a Brad Day.
Had a Brad Day. There we go. Had a Brad Day versus Uncharted. And then FlyQuest taking on SwayPurple. Soul Esports taking on Heroes of Tomorrow. Evil Geniuses taking on TBA. And then we have Mech6 taking on Ducks on Quack. And then we have Allegiance taking on Loco Strikes. And at the bottom there, you can see King Doom taking on the Butter Brothers. And I'm putting a the there because it needs a the. That's what I think. The Butter Brothers. And then... they're all our games today. Let's have a look at exactly what we're going to be broadcasting to you today, though. Let's have a look at the matches we'll be bringing your way. We're going to be starting off, I believe, with FlyQuest versus SwayPurple. Then we'll have our lower bracket round 1 match. Then we'll have a round of 8 game 1. And then we'll have our second, of course, round of 8 game to bring you before we close out the action, gentlemen. So let's talk about this game number 1. I'm excited because it seems like every single week we're going on, the regions are getting stronger and stronger. And this region's looking even stronger than the last.
Yeah, perhaps like you were talking about it a little bit earlier, perhaps our tightest one to date. There's a couple of really strong names in here, of course, Cloud9, EG, Allegiance, FlyQuest. There's a lot of really solid people in this one.
Yeah, this is probably the most depth we've seen so far from any of these qualifiers, so I'm looking forward to this overall. Actually, when we get to the next stage, I'm actually not too sure for one of these, for a change, about who is actually going to make it all the way through to the finals, but we can't get ahead of ourselves. They've got to get through this weekend. As we've seen throughout these previous qualifiers, people can get upset. People can come out of nowhere that we just didn't expect and suddenly make it much further than we ever thought they could.
Yeah, it's very true. It's always exciting, as we say, when you know that there's some upsets around the corner. It's something that's kept us definitely hooked during the first couple of weeks of the Universal Open. But a couple of things for you guys at home, of course, to keep your eyes peeled for. One of them is the Dual Force Achievement Unlock. So keep an eye out for that. That'll be flashing at the bottom of the screen in very short time. That's going to be achieved for given away, for 7 goals scored by any player and 11 saves made by the same player in any series. And I managed to get your extra name in there. Did you see that little plug there?
I appreciate it,
I've got you, man. Don't worry about it. I've got you. But on a slightly more serious note, of course, we have a fantastic cause which is being supported by a fantastic partner over at Soylent. For every single goal that is scored during the Universal Open, they will donate 10 meals to the World Food Program over in the United States. So if you want to get involved at home, of course, head over to wfpusa.org/Universal Open. It's a fantastic cause. Please, if you've got a little bit of time time and money on your side, make sure you head over there and get involved with what is a fantastic cause. But gentlemen, I mean, let's talk a little bit more about some of the teams that we've got just before our match number 1 in here. Some of the standout teams for you, Achieves.
Actually, the team, obviously, there's the standout ones that I mentioned earlier: Cloud9, Evil Geniuses, Allegiance, FlyQuest. Those guys, those are your big standout teams. But the team I really want to look forward to seeing is actually Team Had a Bread Day, because I used to be on a team with Had a Bread Day a long time ago, back in Season 1 of RLCS, perhaps the closest I've ever been. Anyway, not the point. He's playing with Lemon Puppy as well, so I'm excited to get to see Lemon Puppy back on the pitch. So I really want to see how they do in this qualifier.
And what about you, young man? How are you feeling about this?
This is actually one of the regions where I'm gonna admit I've got less overall experience with some of these teams out there. Obviously, I know the 4 big ones that we're sort of looking towards, but there's a lot of names around here that I'm looking forward to. The ones I've sort of seen floated around. This is gonna be my first opportunity to really take a look at them a little bit more in depth and sort of see who's where, who's got what mechanics, who knows how to do what. For a lot of these teams, they've seen it as an opportunity to grow, but for a lot of other teams, this is their chance to really break out. I think we know our 4 teams that we expect to get forward: FlyQuest, Allegiance, Cloud9, so-and-so, Evil Geniuses. If one of these teams can maybe steal one of those spots, that will be huge. I think that's the main target for every team this week.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing if there's any potential upsets again before we get into our game number 1, of course, again, because that's what's got me excited. Seeing these incredible comebacks and lower bracket runs as well that we've seen to finally get one of those qualification spots. Who do you think are maybe the teams that you're looking at there that could potentially cause some of those upsets?
You've seen me achieve both.
It's like,
ready.
let's look at all of them. It's like Mech G.
Making them work.
Mech G is definitely a team that has a good chance, I think. Heroes of Tomorrow, maybe.
Do you know who I'm looking at? King Doom. King Doom.
Doom?
King Ranny is making a name for himself. Sort of as a
true.
streamer recently, I had a chance to look at him. He's got the makings there. I feel like he's got a bit more to put together, but I feel like 2s definitely suits him down to the ground. This could be interesting if we get a chance to see it. I think, he's got the naming down. King Doom is a fantastic name. If his gameplay is as good as his naming, that's a top 4 player right there.
I like how Achieves is like, he's an absolute sweetheart.
King Randy's a great guy.
King Doom.
Yes.
I've talked to King Randy like maybe like twice, a grand total, but each time I talk to him, he's a sweetheart. So yeah, King Randy's a good guy.
Well, it looks like our game number 1 is ready. We're not messing about today, gentlemen.
No.
I'm looking forward
right
to
to
getting into this. I've missed your voices in my ears the last week, so I'm looking forward to getting into this one. Let's have a few predictions before this match, though.
I think you have to stick with FlyQuest. It's hard to bet against AJ and Moses. This will be the first time we've actually seen Moses on the pitch in a long time. Certainly in 2v2. I don't even think he played. And did he play last year? I don't remember. Not the point. But they're playing Reliable Fries and Andy the it's written
Roo.
down.
Andy the Roo.
Thank you. I wrote it down.
I have many an experience of Andy the Roo at this point, so yeah, I think I have to agree with you right here. It's really been a case of every single tournament we've had, we already have that many upsets on the day 1.
Well, here we go then, gentlemen. The first game of the day. It's good to be back. The Universal Open is very much back underway. It's going to be FlyQuest taking on SwayPurple. Gentlemen, take it away.
And I think we just saw the kickoff meta get immediately changed at the start of this game. So FlyQuest over on the blue side, SwayPurple. I've seen Andy the Roo score many a fantastic goal, but it's going to be much more difficult in this series, and I think he's taking it more serious as well. This time he is just Andy. That is an esports name right there. AJ trying to get zapped down. There's going to be Moses with the follow-up, and that's an early lead for FlyQuest.
Yep, pretty clean start there for FlyQuest. Really nice job from Moses here. He got a nice high clip, and he tried to follow it up. I think he got a little bit too fancy with trying to go on that one, and if he just went straight for the ball rather than, twisting and stuff, he might have been able to just punch that into the corner, but misread the bounce, and AJ and Moses get off to a good start.
So, 4:30 in. Andy, he's got the potential to find the infield pass, but he wasn't ever looked for by Reliable Fries. This is some good naming this week. I've questioned some of the naming that we've seen previously, but I'm a fan.
I am quite excited to see how AJ does as well, because he was a real big offensive powerhouse for FlyQuest during the Rival Series this time around when they qualified for the RLCS, so it'll be good to see him flex his muscles with a little bit more space here in 2v2.
All the way back down. Moses, well, he got plenty of space to find the top left-hand corner. For FlyQuest, they're just looking to try and do what we've seen most weeks so far. Be that top seed and act like that top seed, starting to dominate in this match.
Yeah, pretty clean catch from Moses off the sidewall. And Andy sat there on the back line. I think he realized there was no way he was going to be able to challenge that. Just decided to take his chances in the net, but a very well-placed ball from Moses up in the top left-hand corner.
Just a distinct lack of pace right now from SwayPurple. They are going after 1 or 2 maneuvers, but they don't quite have a backup plan. Usually the sign of a top player can really be to adapt on the fly, but they've struggled to do that so far. AJ! That was quite an incredible angle he just managed to find, and FlyQuest really racking up the goals.
Yeah, Reliable Fries got caught moving forward a little bit too hard, only had 12 boost, and kind of hesitated on the way back as well. I don't think he realized AJ was right next to him on the pitch. He just ended up giving him too much space, and a clean finish. A 3-0 lead. It's great game one if you're FlyQuest.
FlyQuest, and the ball's only been in their side of the field twice this entire series. Seeing if SwayPurple can find a way to really start to step up. Now, we've seen many times, sometimes just the name value of who you're up against can sometimes set players back a little bit, especially in game one. SwayPurple need to try and start finding some answers.
Really nice control there from AJ on his way back to the midfield line. Good steal from Reliable Fries, but I think the offense is going to peter out here. Force, I have the worst handwriting ever. SwayPurple. I've got it written down on my piece of paper, and I can't even read what I wrote. Oh no.
FlyQuest looking to try and give some fakes that are way better than Sheeves' handwriting. As Moses with the follow-up, 4 goals to nothing. Fake it till you make it. And that's exactly what AJ did here.
Yeah, that was really just playing with the mind of Reliable Fries on the way back there. And you got to respect the chance on the net. And, you know, you take your best guess. And FlyQuest really toying with their food a little bit.
FlyQuest, they got 3 minutes left to continue to put this statement down. SwayPurple have really struggled even to put one solid opportunity forward for them to grab a goal. This might be it. Andy immediately challenged.
Little slow.
That's going to be beat into the air. That should be a goal. Should Moses be able to set up quickly enough? Andy might have just done exactly that, but Reliable Fries. Reliable in defense, able to get there just in time.
And you keep seeing FlyQuest, whenever they get the opportunity, they'll just take the ball back to their own half. They're willing to make a challenge near their own net in the corners. And I really like to see that, especially in 2v2 when, you know, there's so much space on the pitch, and being able to utilize what's behind you as well as in front of you is a very valuable skill, as AJ doesn't have hardly any space in front of him, takes it from this corner, and goes right into the net.
You saw the lack of boost there on SwayPurple as they both go towards the same boost. Only one of them able to pick it up, but SwayPurple struggling big time for any sort of momentum, both mentally and pace in game. They just haven't quite got the gears going up just yet.
And you know, you can understand that. Oh, the flip reset. Good idea. Unfortunately, the execution not quite there, but I don't think you really blame Andy for Reliable Fries here, because, you know, like you were talking a little bit about earlier, it does go back to the name value against who you're playing against. We'd actually talked about that a fair bit in those first couple of qualifiers that we did. And, you know, you can't afford to let yourself get taken out of a good headspace just because of who you're playing against. But by the same token, you still have to respect that, as, again, Andy caught too far forward out of the midfield. Moses just punts one over his head. It's 6-0.
I mean, Moses is really stepping up the scoring here. That's his 4th of this game alone.
He's cruising.
Pretty much hurtling towards the 10-goal mark at this point in time. And for SwayPurple, battered and bruised on the pitch. And whilst I kind of like that they're, you know, trying to relax it a little bit, take some pressure off themselves, I would like to see a goal. Just anything for SwayPurple to head into the next game with something on their side. And
they have got at least here's a good chance. AJ just running out of boost. I don't think Reliable Fries has much either, though. Only 30. And then one-on-one, gets the flick and the pop. All right. You said that you wanted a goal, Shogun. You got it. Reliable Fries makes the 30 boost work. He cuts through both of them.
Great ball control the entire way. Doesn't even let it touch the ground once. AJ tried to cut across just in time, but it is 6-1. I don't think a comeback's there.
I don't think it is either.
It's definitely something for SwayPurple.
What is AJ doing?
Challenge mode.
It's the nerves of steel test.
This is for Moses. Maybe he's turned around and just go, all right, mate, I'm not really feeling up to it. He's actually a controller DC, but he is now back in.
Ooh.
Here's the real question. If you've got a controller issue, does he have the second one around?
Ooh, the contingency controller?
Or has he got to get through today and then suddenly rush off to the shop ahead of tomorrow?
Is he like, you know, a lot of Smash players who keep that second controller in the backpack when they get upset at the first one?
Would not know what you mean, Achieves. I would never get upset at a controller. Got to own all of your mistakes.
No Johns.
Andy turn around. This is the first time we've actually seen SwayPurple try and go long with one of their ball touches. Good infield pass, but AJ already there.
Ooh, mistouch.
Over SwayPurple. This game will be coming towards an end for them. Very slow-paced game. I really feel like they can ramp it up a little bit. The boost management just doesn't seem around. They're sort of wasting it on nothing touches. So the only way will be up for them as they give away game number 1 to FlyQuest.
Yeah, I actually really agree with you on that. Ooh, do they get one to go? No, they don't. All right, they'll just smash it off the back wall. Ooh, they want to get it. Come on, Andy.
Oh, he's not quite got the shot.
Help him
but
out, AJ.
AJ, you've got to go that the whole way. Someone score. You can't do this now and not,
And not
score.
score.
I will be infinitely upset
Oh.
if we do not get
Oh.
a goal. It's going to be AJ! My boy, my man, my 7-1. That was worth it.
That was all we needed. And Moses doing a nice
That's
job
the assist of the day. We can shut that up now.
from Moses right
Yeah.
at the start.
That's all of them. They kept that alive. That was a team effort.
That was a team effort. That is the ultimate display of teamwork, Shogun, when it takes both teams to put the ball in, and that's always good to see.
No Mercy continues.
Yes.
That's all I want to know. No Mercy continues. A fantastic first game, gentlemen. Our number 1 seed coming out hot, exactly how they would have. And to be honest, it's the first time we've really seen a number 1 seed just come out and dominate in the first game of the day.
Well, I mean, they've definitely got them beat in terms of the experience things. Andy and Reliable Fries, we talked about it a little bit on in the middle of that game. You know, they're not bad players. We can actually see it on the scoreboard. They're Season 7 Grand Champs. It's like they know what they're doing. There were 8 goals in that game total. And, you know, Andy and Reliable Fries, I think maybe they just need that perhaps one game to settle in and realize what AJ and Moses are really bringing to the table. And I think in Game 2 we see something completely different.
Yeah, honestly, for FlyQuest, just keep what you're doing. SwayPurple, for me, honestly, sort of beat themselves coming into this first game. They looked very flat. It wasn't until the game was basically over that we saw them sort of expressing themselves a little bit more on the pitch. But by that point, game was already gone.
Yeah, it was an interesting game. Good one to start off with, though, for our fantastic cause, of course, over at Soylent. We had 8 goals scored during that game, which translates over to 80 meals for the World Food Programme USA. Of course, if you guys at home want to get involved as well, head over to wfpusa.org/Universal Open. So, not a bad start, gentlemen. 80 meals already in the bank.
Yeah, we had in the first couple of weeks we had like over 1,000 meals or something. It was
something
nuts.
crazy.
It was
Yeah,
insane.
It was wild.
We had over 1,000 in a day.
Yeah, we got over 100 goals in a single day. That was the last broadcast we did, as far as I'm aware. So maybe we'll be beating it. That's the problem. That's
Got a
the
new
problem with our
target.
slot is that as soon as we hit one target, we want another one. Okay, never settle.
Shooting for 150 in a day.
Never
yeah.
settle. No mercy. Give us more.
I was waiting for the no mercy. You've
No
been waiting.
mercy.
Shogun's been sitting like pacing up and down before the games. Going, no mercy, no mercy, no mercy, and then finally he gets to say it. So I'm pleased for you. But game number 2, obviously, we're looking forward to now. It's about to get underway as well. We talked about the name factor. Did you feel that might have been something that came into effect a little bit in that game number 1?
Maybe just a little bit. I think the biggest thing, and I think Shogun would agree, was definitely the boost issue for SwayPurple. It felt like Reliable and Andy didn't really have a lot of boost to work with and move over on offense. As that game went on, I kind of think that Moses and AJ might have taken the foot off the gas a little bit and kind of just let them out of their own half and just play a little bit of defense just to, you know, get the game moving along.
It was a little bit weird for me because they were getting. I mean, we've seen many players out that can play on low boost. At twos, you have to get used to playing low boost. It was the fact of how they were using it. They were getting boost and immediately trying to use the boost to get themselves in position. Like they were trying to chase down the game towards the midfield. Let it come to you, and then use your boost to make a play outfield. But it was just ill-conceived decision-making in that first game. But we are going to see whether or not they can get that sorted out. Reliable Fries, he's got nobody in net. Go to the right-hand side of the net, and maybe he could have picked himself up a goal there.
Oh, no.
Andy, passing option is there. Reliable Fries off the backboard. He's realizing there's going to be very few options from that corner.
Bit of a poor first touch from Reliable Fries. I think he wanted a little chip more towards the top of the box. Runs into Andy, and they will recover, but should be a free ball here for FlyQuest.
There's a nice thing about being bumped, though, is that you've always got that flip reset. You're always capable of recovering from there. Andy, just taking his time a little bit in defense. Moses' flick left much to be desired, as now AJ just over the top. Wanted the flip reset, but Reliable Fries says absolutely not to that one. You can already see FlyQuest looking to try and mount that pressure. They've got this game into the final third. Now they're just going to try and see if they can get the loose ball, which they can pounce upon for a shot. And that will be right there.
Oh,
and they find the back of the net off mispositioning in the defense.
Yeah, kind of surprised that Reliable Fries wasn't able to get to this one. He was pretty close to it.
He was backwards to this one.
Okay, yeah. I think he still could have got that one. It would have been hard, but yeah. Maybe he just thought it was out. Yeah. Definitely a missed opportunity. But, you know, AJ, again, we touched on it a little bit. Huge offensive powerhouse over in the rival series for FlyQuest, and it's good to see he hasn't lost too much of the touch in the interim since that ended.
Especially considering recent developments for FlyQuest, but they have got that promotion. I can guarantee you AJ is more focused now than more than ever. AJ wins the challenge. Moses is going to look to try and see what Andy does, and that is a lot of boost used. He's going to have to try and perform some sort of miracle to get too much further. Flip reset. I actually don't know if he got it.
Yeah.
He sort of hit the left side and the right side after each other.
Either way, I think Reliable Fries was 100% ready for that. And, you know, I have to agree with you on the names. You know, Reliable Fries. It surprisingly kind of
That's a person that you want in your solo standard game.
It's like, who's on my team? Reliable Fries?
You've got to set up a really comforting word in your name. There's going to be the follow-up shot. Reliable Fries off the side of the wall. AJ, he's got Moses. Over to the side, chooses himself with a flick.
Oh, good demo.
Not quite there. Moses, I don't think, even expected the extra opportunity.
I think he peeled off to go grab that midfield boost. And
I'm going to change my my rank name to Great Rotations, and that is going to be a great shot there. FlyQuest, for the first time, find themselves in a battle.
And I think it's good Andy just goes and catches this one. Does AJ have any boost? Yeah, he had about 30 to work with in the net there. I think he just didn't
backward defense again.
Yeah, and he didn't even try and really play the defense, didn't even jump at it, just said, all right, odds are he misses that one. And, you know, again, you got to show your opposition that you can't take anything lightly, but that's a big miss and a slow shot, thankfully, and a save for SwayPurple.
SwayPurple, after what we saw in the first game, not too sure how many times they can make a comeback in this series. They need to take advantage of this 1-0 and make it stick, but they've both been beat. AJ looking to finish it himself. 2 goals to 1, and SwayPurple, that's going to hurt them.
Yeah, a big mistouch out of the midfield. The second one as well. And Reliable Fries racing back to net fast as he can. Just no way to manage the speed and get a decent challenge on that ball. Just hoping to get something on it. And, you know, AJ does it all himself. He didn't even have to, is the best part. He could have just passed that off to Moses, and he's like, nah, I've got this one. Watch it.
AJ's touch might offer an opportunity for someone to move forward, but Moses instead wants to try and find the safer zone of the corner. SwayPurple. 2 minutes to find themselves a goal. And that is going to be done for them. Get all nervous that you need to find yourself a goal, and it just sort of gets handed over.
Yeah, an unfortunate skip right off of AJ's nose in that corner, bounced right into the top of the box, and Moses trying to get in front of it.
There's a 1 in 100 play right there.
What? Only 1 in 100, though, so that happens a lot. How many games of Rocket League have we played, you know? I think it's
I played, or
No,
have
in
been?
general.
I think it was like...
It's like billions
I think it was like 2.5 billion.
So, you know, 1 in 100's pretty common.
Yeah, it's all the time.
How's
AJ?
that for caster math?
Correct, for a change, so we'll take it. AJ looking to try and get a reverse flick. But like FlyQuest, they're trying these flicks right now. If they can just start hitting them,
yeah,
they'll be very scary. But right now, especially some of the top teams in this tournament will be looking at those and just saying, well, we can deal with that pretty easily, and we can counter. What a save there from Moses. And the demo on Andy will mean that there'll be no follow-up.
And again, I think the pace from FlyQuest actually taking a bit of a dip. I think they're allowing too many opportunities. I think Moses and AJ are certainly capable of dominating a game in terms of speed and pressure, and it's kind of surprising that Andy and Fries have gotten so many opportunities on net this game compared to last game.
SwayPurple, not necessarily a team that like to belt the ball away, much more happy to take the ball under their own control and then try and follow up. So a lower pace game will definitely suit them a little bit more. It means they can control their positioning with this off-ball man.
Oh, nasty
That's
hop.
an awkward bounce. AJ with the follow-up, but Andy is there just in time. 2-all. SwayPurple have got their opportunity here at trying to take a win.
Okay.
There's the double tap, and Reliable Fries has the lead for SwayPurple. They've just got to hold on for 40 seconds.
And the best part is he did exactly what you say. You said they're not one to bomb the ball away. They learned from that mistake in game number 1, just trying to make too much happen. They keep it close out of the midfield, and Reliable Fries goes much further than I think anybody on FlyQuest was expecting, and a nice clean double tap to put her home and give them the lead.
Just got to try and survive now. Andy, I love that. Just sort of wasted some time. The more you can use the wall, the more difficult it is for FlyQuest to challenge.
Ooh, needs that.
There's that follow-up shot, and SwayPurple
put it away.
Gonna make a real meal of this series. FlyQuest. This is now gonna make them a little bit nervous after such a simple game 1.
Yeah.
It has fallen apart in game 2.
And it just surprises me that they've allowed so many opportunities over onto SwayPurple. I just really figured that Moses and AJ would come right back out like they did in game number 1, just get the ball and just beat people, because they're both very capable of doing that. And it's surprising to see them struggle so much here in game 2 with holding on to the ball. And I think it does go back a little bit to those flicks, because they tried a couple of them in this game and they missed pretty much all of them.
Every single time they've tried to outpace SwayPurple, they've done an incredibly good job of setting up positions for themselves to shoot. But for SwayPurple, this is absolutely massive for them. 1 game apiece. And onset. Okay, maybe not as simple as we predicted.
No, and Mr. Reliable Fries seems to have come to life a little bit.
Such a good name.
I've been sitting there thinking, what is a reliable fry? And I've come to a conclusion.
Okay.
I'll be
Oh, yeah?
happy to hear. So what a reliable fry is the one that when you dip, it doesn't just sadly kind of keel over. Do you know what I mean? It's like
Nice
a
and
solid, crisp, like... You know you've got a good fry, but let's talk a little bit more about Rocket League before I send you over the edge. An interesting game number 2, and now we're tied up at 1-1, gentlemen.
Yeah, 7 shots from AJ in that game number 2. Only 2 of them finding the back of the net. Moses is significantly less effective than in game number 1. And I really think it comes down to how aggressive AJ and Moses are out of the midfield, because you can't keep letting Andy and Reliable Fries just bring the ball onto your own half and outpace you. When you're a team that's just qualified for the RLCS, you got to show everybody that, hey, we're going to walk all over you because we're that good. And I think Andy and Reliable Fries said, you're going to be complacent, you're going to lose a game.
I mean, we spoke about it at the end of the last game where it seemed like FlyQuest were taking their foot off the gas.
Yeah.
I think they forgot to put it back on.
Exactly.
Coming into this game. I said about the last game where I thought a team could do better. FlyQuest can definitely do better than that. Just no pace whatsoever. They're sort of controlling... Well, they've got less control now over the middle boost. And that has led to them having this weird all-or-nothing style of play where they're not challenging for anything, which realistically they should be challenging for everything. They've got more experience, that sort of stuff. They should be winning more challenges overall, but instead they're allowing their opponents to play out from defense, set up a 1v1 situation, and it's often going wrong for them.
It's almost like showing too much, in comparison to the first game, almost showing their opponents too much respect is what I'm seeing a little bit. You know, as you're saying, if they can put the pressure back onto them, when that game number 1, there's no reason they shouldn't be doing that.
I sort of see it a different way. I sort of see it as them looking at it and just going, well, we don't think you're good enough to hit it. So if you miss, we're left in a 2v1 and we don't have to commit to any sort of defensive moves. We don't have to waste any boost. I feel like they're sort of seeing this and just going, well, he's not going to get it right.
Yeah,
so
he's not going to hit
we
it.
can have an advantage moving back over. It's not happening right now. They're hitting the double taps and they're hitting the flicks. You've now got to start challenging these in the midfield.
Exactly, and I think Reliable Fries and Andy the Roo, man, 2 names, just quite something. And it's just, you don't change anything, I don't think, if you're Fries and Andy. You say, look, Game 2 went perfectly, and now it's on them to prove to us that they're going to change that, and then they'll have to figure it out. So, I mean, I think I liked the changes that Andy and Fries made. They, like you said, they stopped bombing that ball away like they were in Game 1. Game 2, they kept it a lot closer out of the midfield. They had a lot of space to work with, and they used it well. And I think AJ and Moses here in Game 3, I think on their dribbles, we'll start to see those get cleaned up as well, because that was another thing that Shogun and I both really thought that FlyQuest were dropping the ball a little bit on, was those dribble plays.
And that is going to be Reliable Fries immediately taking the lead. FlyQuest, I'm not too sure they knew who was supposed to have this one.
Yeah, talk about dropping the ball on a dribble. Moses backs up, and AJ's like, no, come get it. And then they just leave the door open. Fries says, cheers, mate. Chucks it into the right-hand side.
There's one thing when it comes to Rocket League where mistakes tend to lead to more mistakes.
Oh, that's not just Rocket League. That's
everything. But you got to remember, a lot of these players have, whilst the esports scene is growing and getting more and more mature, not too many times have players got used to this sort of situation where they've underperformed once or twice and understand what they need to do to get themselves out of that mental rut. That's going to go the entire length of the pitch, but it's not quite going to go in. Moses happily sees that one off the post.
But the pressure is still there for Fries and Andy. They're just cruising right now in Game 2. I like the fact that they're just coming out and playing some aggressive Rocket League, and it's worked out well for them.
That's the playstyle that we've seen work for many teams.
Oh,
Although that is an
no.
overcommit from Reliable Fries.
Oh, he's got to wait. Okay.
There's going to be AJ turning that one in. He's on the wall. He's got to jump. You've got to respect that. And Reliable Fries simply didn't.
Precisely. You have to. It could just be a case of blindness, you know. Sometimes you just go for a ball and then you get it tapped over your head. You're like, wait, where'd that come from? Because you got to imagine there's no way. Like, if he had known Moses was right there, he would never go for that challenge. You got to give him the benefit of the doubt occasionally. But you're absolutely right. Beat to the ball like that, you got to wait your turn, buddy.
AJ back out. Andy shot.
Ooh.
Almost managed to get a second touch, putting it into a danger zone, but instead, Reliable Fries now moving forward. I do like the SwayPurple are basically going for a tried and true method that we've seen throughout this tournament so far. One person offense, one person sort of holding elsewhere. Very few team plays from either side so far. Reliable Fries just took his time, tried to force the challenge that he did end up losing. Andy gets bumped. Reliable Fries in the race, and he's going to lose that one. If the ball's in front of your net, maybe control is a little bit
More important.
maybe less important. Push that one away.
It's not a bad idea, to be honest. If he catches it properly, then he can quickly dribble it out. But, you know, a poor first touch definitely makes that play much more difficult. Moses, recognizing the opportunity, you know, smashes him out of the way. Clean goal and a solid go-ahead goal for FlyQuest as well.
Andy, he's got the flip reset. Tried to force it, but AJ right in front of him. And that is another big challenge. Saw SwayPurple let the game get away from them in game number 1. They need to stop this right now. The bleeding has begun. FlyQuest winning these challenges much more.
Yeah, they kind of just launched that one downfield. And again, you see Reliable Fries and Andy. It's a wide open net. They're just playing too far forward out of the midfield. They want to keep continuing that aggressive play that worked so well for them in game number 2. And I think they're kind of realizing that, hang on, maybe that's not the only recipe to success, as this one on a kickoff slips right on through. And again, they go for a really aggressive kickoff.
You know, when I said I wanted midfield challenges from FlyQuest, not quite what I meant.
The funny thing is on that kickoff, they started with the one in the corner and one in the midfield, and they tried to get it to go to the same side as the guy going for the kickoff. And I've never understood why people want to do that, because geometry is not in your favor when you try and kick off in that way.
Yeah. I mean, geometry is a big word.
Yeah, it's a couple letters, isn't
Directions, I believe, is the word that you're after.
it? No, geometry is.
Just sort of point the way that you want the ball. I might be able to get it there. Moses tries to go for the dish.
It's just a lot easier to get the ball. Like, if you're kicking off from the right side of the pitch, it's a lot easier to get the ball to go left than it is to draw it back to the right.
Oh, it's going to be a flip reset off. AJ faking out his. Who's going to be the first one to score the flip reset? We've seen many people attempt it now. Seems to be a battle between AJ and Andy.
You know, I think I actually give the edge a little bit to Andy. I think AJ's calmed down a little bit and hasn't gone for... I think he's only gone for the one. And I think if anyone's going to go for flip resets, it's going to be Fries and Andy, because they're going to be like, yeah, let's do it.
You didn't win. We scored the flip reset. It's basically a golden snitch. That's going to be the follow-up. Oh, that's the first time we've really seen FlyQuest attempting the team plays.
But they give one up.
And as good as it was as an attempt, that is going to hurt them a little bit.
It's the all or nothing, you know? You send the house, and if the crossbar deems you unworthy, then you give up a goal.
That was a good team play as well. I'm almost upset.
You feel bad. You
Yeah.
feel bad. It's like, you know, that was a good attempt.
That was worthy. Either way, SwayPurple have got themselves back into this game. Needs to try and keep up the pace, though. Andy.
Ooh,
Lovely
nice
flick
touch.
up. AJ, well positioned for that, though. Holds himself on the back line. And now the follow-up from Moses was always going to be a difficult angle for him to find. Andy just never got it on his hood. Always so difficult to try and dribble it from there. And Reliable Fries, this might be another time he's been caught out. This time able to get back just in time. But there's definitely a question there about Reliable Fries' midfield positioning, especially when a long clear can happen against him.
Oh, I love the control. They wanted the bump in the net. Good idea, and they slam it off the bar. AJ makes a good save, but I like the aggression from Fries and Andy. They realize right there, this is a good opportunity to get the ball on. And again, I like them keeping it close, controlling it as they move up the pitch. They don't want to rush anything.
Andy got it on his hood this time. Can't grab the flick. AJ with the follow-up. Tried to bump out Reliable Fries, but couldn't quite find his target. Moses with the shot.
Oh.
Gonna go straight into the net, and that could very well secure game number 3 for FlyQuest and put them up to series point.
I think this is definitely one that needs to be saved. Fries is just really crowding Andy a little bit there. The spacing a little bit awkward. You'd hope to see the second man in that one be a little bit further back. It's always that interesting division of roles in 2v2, you know. First man on the ball, second man has to split the duties of offensive follow-up and defensive covers. That's a slow floater and cleared away by AJ. And I think sometimes, Fry is most often the second man in this one. Just gets a little bit ahead of himself and doesn't really lock down the defense before moving on to offense sometimes.
Well, definitely trying something. SwayPurple almost chaotically fast right now. They might be able to get something from it. It's going to bounce straight down to the danger area. Andy with the shot.
Touch.
5-3. 27 seconds left. They need something quickly.
They absolutely do. And the one that's really going to stick in their mind is that kickoff goal that they gave up, because that's going to be that extra second goal that found its way into the back of the net. So you'd hope to get one back right here on the kickoff.
You have to try and do it pretty quickly. 27's on the clock. AJ buying for time. He might be able to pick up a goal here, but can't quite twist and turn his car straight into a good shooting position. Reliable Fries straight back out to Andy. 13 now. Reliable Fries can't get there in time. That's a big clear there from AJ. Moses will help it on its way. And that could have secured this game now for FlyQuest. SwayPurple made them sweat towards the end. But for FlyQuest, they'll be happy to resume service as normal.
Yep, it feels good to get right back into it. And, of course, you don't really blame Reliable Fries and Andy getting a little bit aggressive there at the end. They had to make a pretty large amount of saves. Kind of surprising considering how AJ and Moses, I don't know, they put up 11 shots. It didn't really feel like they put up 11 shots, you know, though. It kind of felt the same as that game number 2, but I felt like Andy and Reliable Fries definitely were on offense a lot more in that game than the stats would show.
So 2-1, gentlemen. Obviously, guys on FlyQuest now just one game away from taking the series, but something you were highlighting during that series, Shogun, I want to throw this one to you a little bit here, is you were talking about Reliable Fries. Some of his positioning was maybe a little bit lackluster. What do you want to see him improve on, and how can he change that up for this next game?
So it's okay to be a little bit further out when you're the off-man defender, because what you're trying to do is you're trying to bait out one of those long shots. But you've got to be in a position where you're baiting out and you know you can still safely save it. What he's not doing right now is he's not really baiting, he's just out of position. And that's giving away easy shots. If you can get yourself in a position where the shot is taken from the midfield and you can go and grab yourself an easy save, you've basically got rid of a tough defensive situation very simply because you know how to save those sort of things. But Reliable Fries, I feel like every time, he's only doing this when he's behind. He's getting a little bit too far forward and saying, we need to go now, we need to go now, we need to go now. And Moses, in particular, is punishing for that every single time because Moses, he can hit them. You know, he can hit them from his own side of the field. He's just getting it over the top of Reliable Fries, who I feel like either needs to really commit to the offense or commit more to the defense. He's sort of midway right now, and that just doesn't work.
And there were a couple of good plays that SwayPurple had when they were moving on the offense. That bump attempt on the net that they just sort of dropped the dribble on a little bit. And I really like to see that aggression. The problem is rarely does that situation occur when you get the second man on the dribble and the first man says, all right, let's go hit him out of the way. And it really is that, again, it comes down to the division of responsibility in 2v2. You got to, I think, especially playing a team like AJ and Moses, you really have to make sure the defense is solid before you commit to offense.
Yeah, and, I mean, we've seen AJ and Moses play so far. Apart from the flip reset attempts, which we're seeing from AJ, pretty basic Rocket League so far. This is all, you know, the fundamentals of Rocket League we're seeing right now. It's just being done better.
And they are challenging those double taps like they gave up in game number 2 now. I think they realize, okay, we can't let them have that option anymore. And now it's kind of, again, on SwayPurple to figure out a different way through.
Well, one good thing to keep a note of is that AJ is currently sat on 8 goals and 10 saves.
Oh,
so
wow.
he's managed to cross off the goals in our achievement unlock, our dual force achievement unlock. So keep an eye out for that one. Obviously, we might first series of the day. If we manage to get that away, that's impressive.
I don't think we've ever had it on a day one.
Definitely not, especially not in the first series.
No.
I mean, that is We're making history.
Welcome
What's
back.
that?
We said more depth over here in the central region. Being proven correct very quickly here.
Yeah, it's very, very true. So let's talk about this next game just before it gets underway. It's about to get underway, of course. The guys on FlyQuest on Series Point right now. What have the guys on SwayPurple got to do to change this one up? We have seen them already take a game in this series. How do they take another game and send this to a best of 5?
Well, they figured out the good thing.
To a game 5.
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
always a best of 5 achieves. This guy.
I was going to let that one go. But they figured out the big thing that was the issue in game number 1, which was the boost control. They've kind of locked that down, figured out how that works, and now it's just making sure to convert the offensive chances. Both teams have really dropped a lot of dribble and flick attempts. I like the control they're giving out of the midfield. I think it's really just making sure you finish your opportunities, to be completely honest. It's execution at this point, I think, for both teams, really.
Yeah, I feel like don't overcomplicate this. Don't, say, oh, we've got to change this and this. It's fundamental Rocket League these two teams are playing right now. You've just got to do it better than your opponents. Make sure the person off the ball is in position. Don't try and get fancy, and you might be able to get yourself a win.
Well, I'm looking forward to this one, gentlemen. It's been an interesting game in our first series of the day. A lot closer than we normally see in our first series of the day, but it looks like the game is underway. As you can see here, it is our game number 4 here. FlyQuest just one game from taking the series.
Oh, and that is a phenomenal way to start it. 7 seconds in seems to be where we always seem to be getting a goal, but Reliable Fries, I mean, he's the question mark right now in this series. And he's definitely stepped up to start off this match.
And the cool thing about that is you saw him buy so much time as he was approaching the net there. He's sort of slightly behind the ball, not using too much boost, feathering it very well, and he's really making the defense think.
No, not again.
They give it right back. The exact same kickoff they tried last time. They send the second man on that kickoff over to the same side as the guy going for the kickoff. They do the exact same thing, and it's exactly the same guy, Moses, who does the exact same kickoff and rolls it into the center of the net.
Definition insanity over and over, all of that sort of stuff. Don't do that to me, please. You're upsetting me right now. AJ, the pass over to Moses. We're just going to forget that any of that ever happened. Okay? You guys can get away with the terrible kickoff as long as I'm allowed to. We also have to forget about the really nice air dribble.
It's a trade-off.
It is a definite trade-off right now. It's Reliable Fries. Can't get back in time, and AJ will make it 1-0. Okay, we're committing to this. 1-0.
1-0. And it's a bomb from AJ, too. It's a nice, clean catch from the corner. If you even get that touch even a little bit weaker, Reliable Fries probably makes that stop. Of course, you can avoid that with, placing that over to the left-hand side of the net. But either way, as long as it gets there, I'm sure AJ doesn't mind too much.
Andy, already back up. SwayPurple have already given up their lead. It's not even a minute into this game. Very high scoring so far. Andy going to the ceiling, takes his time, trying to fake out the challenge before continuing onwards. Reliable Fries, I don't think has the boost to keep that one going, but Moses was definitely trying to tempt Andy in. There's going to be the follow-up touch, and Andy just about gets there. But only just.
Only just is right. And it'll be interesting to see if Fries and Andy start to scramble a little bit here. Because you remember, this is still the upper bracket. It's only the first game of the day. You've got an entire lower bracket run should you fall here. And I think it's important to remember that, You can't think this is your only chance and get too antsy when you're only down by 1 with around 4 minutes left.
Good drop down. Moses, though, saves himself to come down at just the right time. Andy all the way up. Not going to go for the flip reset this time. Instead, forces the challenge. Tries to get his bumper right behind the ball. Reliable Fries. A little bit too far forward, but has done enough to give Andy time to get back into position. A lot of backwards defense right now from SwayPurple. They need contact. Reliable Fries. Not going to have any boost here. He's going to try somehow to get something going, but Andy's going to try and back straight out. I think he's got the call from his teammate. Now 1v1.
Nice
and Andy
play.
can't do a thing. AJ just wrong foots him entirely and gets him to, most importantly, stop the momentum on the car.
Yeah, exactly. AJ didn't even have any boost. He's just wiggling all the way behind that ball, really making Andy think when he's going to finish that ball. And as soon as Andy stopped himself outside of the net on that near post, you knew he was done to the far corner. AJ just expertly buying time, free real estate into the opposition's end, and a nice clean finish.
The great thing about it as well is that AJ, if Andy just kept going, could have just faked that one straight into the net and not really have to make any contact.
So many options.
So that first contact. Fakes are made by the danger around you. Reliable Fries. Straight back over to Andy.
Oh, they needed that one.
Just over 2 minutes remaining. Half the game almost gone. AJ now up. Straight back to the corner. That is great follow-up play there from AJ.
1-on-2.
Moses had to slow down very slightly. Can't quite follow that one up. For FlyQuest, an extra gold is just a little bit more of a cushion. SwayPurple, they're the ones that have to do the work right now. But firstly, you've got to get a hold of this ball. And this might not be it. Reliable Fries had to try and follow it up. Andy now with the ball. He's taking an early shot. It has to be on target, and it's not.
Oh, wow. I was watching AJ's recovery the entire time in the midfield, and he got bumped in the orange box and just got so crossed up trying to get back to his own half. Landed wrong. That was free all day for Fries and Andy, and that feels bad because they get punished. Moses crunches one into the top of the net. The lead's 3, and that hurts.
You have to take the opportunities when they get presented to you. And SwayPurple have failed to do exactly that. FlyQuest 4 goals to 1 up. SwayPurple managed to get 1 back last time, but they could not complete the last 2. This time around, if they cannot, they will be dropped into the lower bracket. We've seen teams make runs from the lower bracket, but maybe not the whole way, as Reliable Fries going to give SwayPurple at least a little bit of hope.
You know, I kind of lost a lot of faith in this one working, and I think if Moses a little less coming down on the ball and going across the ball, he probably clears that one, but I think he just mistimed the speed a little bit going up to challenge that one. And
I get so nervous when I see this kickoff now.
Yeah,
Andy,
yeah, right.
Looking to try and go for that 3rd time, as AJ has completed the achievement unlock. Remember, 7 goals, 11 saves. I don't think he's going to be too worried about that right now. He has got a war on his hands if he wants to get himself back into this series. AJ, the follow-up. Andy, just over the top. Moses, what a great demo. Andy, he sees the danger. He can't do a thing about it. Ruthless from FlyQuest.
And you know what's ruthless is AJ not just immediately smashing that ball into the net. That's the ruthless bit. Now, to be fair, he might have been waiting just in case Moses went across the goal. They didn't want Moses to save it, so you can kind of understand it, but nah, just put that one in.
You know what I do really appreciate? Despite the 2 goals they've conceded because of it, SwayPurple are still attempting that loser kickoff strategy.
Did you see that?
Yes! Yes, I did! Unfortunately, I don't think Andy saw this until it was way too late. Why is Andy crying? He just got dunked on.
That's such a good video, but I don't think AJ had any intention to score that ball at all. Like, he did a backflip, did a flip reset, just dove at it.
That's freestyle dunking right there.
Yeah,
you usually got to pay extra.
Freestyle dunking. Let's say there's your Rocket League slam dunk contest, and AJ just won.
10s across the board. So 6-2 now, SwayPurple. This would be a miraculous comeback if they were to make it. It's Reliable Fries. Ball on his hood. That flick is just not there for him. So Moses happy to take over. Reliable Fries just refusing to give up on this, but Moses happy to just play as slow as he possibly can. Time is going away. Double commit there from SwayPurple. It is all up to Moses to place it. And he places it right into the middle of a challenging Reliable Fries. 0 boost on Andy. He's just scraping and clawing, trying to find some way of getting something going, but with 20 seconds remaining, 4 goals is the difference. SwayPurple.
The fire's out a little bit.
Definitely made a fight of this. Yes, they will be getting dropped down to the lower bracket. Lots of work to do then, if they want to make it through to the regional finals. But for FlyQuest, apart from Game 2, this is pretty much what they wanted.
Yeah. And do they get one for the road? Nah, they don't. Unfortunate. But, you know, I really liked SwayPurple. It was, like you said, a brilliant Game 2 from them. And you also got to take into account who they're up against. They played a pretty solid, aggressive Rocket League. I think they just realized, okay, if you take one thing away from that, we play the second man a little bit too far forward, and I'm curious to see how far they go in the lower bracket.
Well, they've made it, gentlemen. That's the first thing to do. Of course, they've made it through. It's our first match of the day. Of course, if you just join us, FlyQuest have just taken that one 3-1. An interesting series, though. Quite a contested series. It wasn't one of those complete and utter stompings that we've seen on day number 1.
Scoreline says a stomp.
The scoreline says a stomp, but if you've watched the games,
a lot closer than you.
Yeah, the guys on SwayPurple, they gave as good as they got at times.
And you really got to, on the other side of the coin, instead of SwayPurple, you got to worry a little bit for FlyQuest. Be like, you can't play like that if you want to guarantee a spot at regionals. You got to really pick things up a little bit when you start going against some real stiff competition in these later matches.
I mean, next round they've either got Seoul Esports or Heroes of Tomorrow, two teams that I think can really step up to the plate if needed to. And then after that, potentially Cloud9.
Yeah.
They've got to maybe find an extra level of 2. I kind of liked what I saw in games 1, 3, and 4, where they sort of, went back to basics, sort of did what they knew how to do best, but you need that little bit extra to beat teams like Cloud9.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, hopefully they'll find that as the tournament goes on, of course. And congratulations to AJ there. He managed to get the Dual Force achievement unlock during that series. Of course, he scored 7 goals and made 11 saves as a minimum to get that. So congratulations to AJ on that one. A solid performance. First time we've seen it. We've talked about it already. It's what we wanted to see. We were worried about he wasn't going to get it going into that last game. He had it on the line, but he pulled it off. So congratulations to him, of course. What we'll do now is we'll have a quick, brisk bracket update to show you exactly what's going on the other side of things, where everyone's sitting at the moment after our first series of the day. You can see here Cloud9, they move forward with the 3-0 victory. We have Uncharted moving forward as well. Evil Geniuses taking a 3-0 win. Ducks on Quack taking the 3-0 win. Allegiance with a 3-0 win. And King Doom with a 3-0 win. I think there might have been a few DQs in there as well, so we'll get up to date and let you know if there were anything surprising, shall we say, that shouldn't have happened in those first few games. But you can see that some of the games we're going to have coming up as well. You can see the teams that have dropped down to the elimination bracket there in TM Habadabre. Nailed it. Absolutely nailed it. SwayPurple versus Heroes of Tomorrow, which is the game I believe we're going to be bringing you next. And then we have MechG and Loco Strikes waiting there as well. So lots of interesting games, and it is going to be Heroes of Tomorrow.
Okay.
Who I believe that SwayPurple are going to be playing. So they're definitely going to have to step the game up a little bit.
Yeah, Heroes of Tomorrow. Elaine Dodger, Alex Storm, both of them played in CRL. Also, long-standing guys in the NA community scene. So they're both really solid players. Alex Storm and... Or not, wait, did Dodger play CRL? I don't remember. I know for a fact.
I love this bit every single time where Achieves is just like, I don't fully know something, but you can see the creative process happening.
It's the process of going, I don't know this, but if I keep going, I might remember it.
Exactly.
That's
it's
what
like,
I
I'll
do.
work
You'll
my
see
way
I
through
can
it.
see
You'll
the
see me
countdown
do it.
timer just going 5, 4, I don't know.
Yeah, it's good. I'm really trying. I'm really trying.
I know Alex Storm absolutely did. I don't remember if Dodger did, but Dodger and Alex Storm have actually played together a long time ago on, I forget what team name they were on, but they definitely used to team together all the time. So not surprising to see them here in 2v2. Curious to see how they play versus SwayPurple. There we go.
Well, we want to hear from you guys as always at home, and thank you for tuning in if you are with us today for our third week of the Universal Open. Of course, use the hashtag UOS2 to get in touch with everybody here and on the show to let us know your thoughts on who you think is going to go through from the Central region today. But that's going to do it all for our game number 1. We're going to be back after a very quick break with another game for you, so don't go anywhere. We'll be back right after this.